I've been dying to show you the piece de resistance of this vehicle, Project First Responder, and how it actually got its name. You see, when you're in the bush, obviously you need to stay hydrated. So up the front, we have an 80-litre water tank, and that sorts us out in terms of, you know, the essentials. But behind this little door here, we have so much more enjoyable things to look at. We have fitted our Engel fridge freezer in here. She's on a slide, fantastic. And we've color coded it to sort of suit the outside of the vehicle as well. But over here, we have one of my favorite bits. So this is the Benchy system from KegLand. And this little guy can chill 3 litres of whatever you like per hour. Now, what I like is beer, and what the better half likes is gin and tonic. So in the back of this vehicle, in the storage box here, we have mounted a 50-litre commercial beer keg, and that is rather glorious. And next to it, we've got a little 10-litre keg where we store gin and tonic. But you could put mineral water, you could put your favourite cocktail, whatever you like. You've got 2 taps to play with. And this system actually runs off either 240 volts or 12 volts. And the beauty of it is that you don't need to keep that beer or alcohol chilled. It chills coming through this system. Now, it starts off as a bit of a ridiculous idea, this sort of a setup, and massive overkill. But when you actually use it, you start to go, it's really, really cool, because you don't actually accrue anywhere near the rubbish that you would if you were carrying this sort of beer along. Think of the glass or the cans. We're talking about the storage of, just with the 50-litre beer keg, around about 6.5 cases. Imagine the rubbish created from 6.5 cases when it comes to cans and cardboard and all that sort of stuff. Where do you put it? Well, you've got to take it away, and you've got to take it back home basically most of the time. Whereas this setup, it is essentially rubbish free. We're using glassware here, and it is fantastic. So I am really, really happy with this. And the other benefit is you can actually put some really nice craft beer in there. We're using Mountain Culture. These guys won Beer of the Year for the last 2 years running. So it is a fine drop that we are partaking in. And come around here and I'll show you a little bit more about this setup. So ORS designed this wonderful setup. So we've got our table here, and we also have our glassware in here. So the glasses just sit snug in there. They don't go anywhere because they can't. They're beautifully padded in there. But you will notice there's a few coffee cups. Well, that is for our little Smeg coffee machine. And that machine even grinds your beans, so you've got beautifully fresh coffee every morning. And it is a proper game changer, folks, when you're out in the bush. Again, this was done as a bit of a party trick, I suppose, and to try and create something that I hadn't seen created before. But in doing that, we've actually stumbled across a really cool way of camping. Now, this whole ORS box is actually mounted on top of a bed slide that allows us just to drag everything out. And while doing that, this gives us the ability to put a table here and also a table on the other side. And not to mention, if we want even more tableware, we have another bench that whips out here with a nice little void there, just in case we get any drippy beer taps there. Now, this setup too, it only takes about 15 minutes to chill your beer down. So I can simply flick on the inverter from inside the vehicle, because I've got another Red Vision screen in there. That turns this on, and when I pull up to camp, I simply need to hook up my beer keg, and I'm pouring beers immediately. How good is that? Now, while I came up with some ideas for this whole setup, I certainly didn't build it. There's no chance I could, I'm not that talented, but I did get a mate to help me out. And his name is Graham Jones, and he's from ORS, and I'm gonna drag him in here now. Graham, I think you deserve one of these, mate.
I know, I have to say. I've been waiting for this one.
So tell me, mate, Have you ever built anything quite like this?
No, no, and to be honest, when you first brought the proposal in and talked about how much you actually wanted to put in here and what you wanted to make work, I didn't think that was even possible. I thought it was crazy actually, but you know, once we got into it and played around with it a bit, we realised that it could actually work, and you know, the end result is great.
It's amazing how practical it is, isn't it? Like on the road, and you've camped with it now, and that ability to pull up and pull a beer when you've...
It has been just excellent, really. It's really been worth it, I think. You know, it's been a job making sure everything worked and getting everything to fit, but end result, perfect.
Were there some moments where you wanted to kick me out the door, mate? Or...
Yeah.
That was too fast. You answered that way too quick.
It was.
We had some challenges though, didn't we? But I guess that's with doing something so new. We're not copying anyone, and it was kind of, yeah, ridiculous. How do you fit a 50-litre keg in? How do you fit one of these things plus a fridge, plus a coffee machine, plus tables? Not to mention the water tank.
And look, all of that's true, and we know that it's out there. We know that, but that's what we were creating. That's what you had in mind. You knew it was out there. Yeah, there's been a bit of trial and error, but together we've got it together and come up with it.
To watch your team come together, listen to my stupid ideas, and then make them happen. Not just make them happen, you know, improve on them. That's fantastic.
And the end result, I mean, I'm stoked with the end result.
Yeah, no, not nearly as much as me, mate. Thank you so much, Graham. Cheers, mate.
You bet.